So many people ask me all the time how we should behave in art galleries, and that's why I'm here to help you today. Because in this video, we will go through some mistakes and some rules that you should know when visiting an art gallery, giving you the tools you need in order to enjoy the art world. And if you're new here, I'm Linda. I'm an art advisor based in Vancouver. I've been working in the art world for a few years now between Italy and Canada. On this channel, I share my experience and a few tips and tricks that can help you along your art collecting journey. If that sounds good to you, make sure to follow. Andiamo! So the first and most basic rule will be don't touch the artwork. And I know this sounds basic, but believe me or not, the first instinct that people have when visiting an art gallery and there's maybe a textural artwork, the first thing that they think is like, oh my God, I need to touch this. I need to see, I need to understand what is the material. First of all, you need to understand that that's not how you should act in a museum or an art gallery. I will speak for art galleries, but there are different rules that applies for museums. And if you're interested in it, I can make a video about it. But essentially, when artworks are in the art gallery, essentially there is an agreement between the art gallery and the art so that the artworks, while they are showing in the art gallery is responsible for those artworks. That means that if you enter an art gallery and you really want to touch something and by mistake you damage it, the art gallery will be responsible for that damage. And they don't want to be responsible for your damage. So that's why you are not allowed to touch anything in any art gallery or museum. There are, of course, exceptions, like maybe there are some interactive artworks that require the visitor touch or the visitor, alteration. And that's a totally different thing because that will be clearly stated by the art gallery. So in London, for example, there was this exhibition at the Tate Modern from Yayoi Okuzama, and the visitors were invited to apply colorful stickers in this completely white space. The result was essentially the artwork and the space were completely changed by the visitors' contribution. And that's the final result. That's what the artist wanted to accomplish. So the artist wanted to gather the touch of the visitors to make an artwork. And that's something completely different. If you're not invited to touch anything, just don't touch it. And if you have any questions, maybe you are particularly obsessed with what the material could be of a specific artwork, just ask the people that are there. They're there to answer your question. I'm there to answer your question. So just ask them, and they will be more than happy to explain to you. Another thing that you may not know, for example, is that if someone is showing you an original print at an art gallery, they should show it to you while wearing gloves. Those kind of white cloth gloves, because if you're touching a print or a photograph, the paper itself, the color itself, it's so sensitive, then even if I washed my hand completely and I'm sweaty, the sweat will transfer to the print and it can maybe damage it. Yeah, that's an example of how delicate artwork can be. Another very, very basic, not a rule, but it's more an invitation. You should be able to make questions, and you are invited to make questions. I understand that for the longest time, the art world has seemed like an enclosed space, like its own bubble in which not everyone could peek in. But nowadays, although I feel it's somehow still a little bit like that, the game has changed completely because of social media and because of internet. So you are more than welcome. You're invited to make questions. You can just walk around, have a browse, make questions if you have any, and then leave. Yeah, it's that easy. I understand that there is this stress or like expectation that maybe people think, oh, if I enter, I have to buy something. But you have to understand that art galleries are basically retail shops. Do you walk into H&M and you feel like you have to buy something, otherwise you can't leave? No. In art galleries, of course, it's a little bit different because the budget is different. But you will go into an art gallery if you're curious, or if you're looking for an artwork, you will visit an art gallery because you're looking for it, right? And that's why also this channel exists. I want to give you the tools to be free and comfortable and confident to face the art world on your own and hopefully find the artwork that you love. Another point you might say, oh my God, Linda, come on, just get over this. But I think it's important. You don't have to be loud in an art gallery. you have to be respectful of the working space because we work there. So although, as we said, it's a shop, if you receive a call while you're visiting an art gallery, maybe just call them later. Like, we don't want to hear your conversation because we will be working there. You receive a phone call, we will be all listening to what you're saying. And I don't want to listen to what you're saying. Just tell your person that you will call them later, like in 5 minutes or 3 minutes. They can wait, right? Or if it's a very important call, just leave the gallery temporarily and then come back. Basically, the rule of thumb will be just behave like you would in a museum. That's exactly the same, basically. A point that I would like to make, which is very important to me, it's whether you are allowed or not to take pictures. And that really depends. Essentially, you are allowed to take photographs in art galleries, to the artworks even. However, it's only for your personal use. If you are thinking to publish it on your social media and you are selling something within your post, while also showing the artwork of an artist in the background, you can actually be fined because you will have to pay the rights for showing that artwork. I'll explain another thing. Essentially, the artwork can be sold to a client, and the physical property of that artwork, now it's property of the client. However, the image of the artwork, it's not theirs. The rights for that artworks are not theirs. It's still the artist's. It also happened to me, for example, not too long ago, actually, I think it was a few weeks ago, that an influencer was taking pictures in front of the gallery where I work. And she was outside of the gallery, just in front of it. But then I noticed that they were carrying like a big suitcase with different dresses and stuff. So I was like, I think they're taking pictures to showcase a product. So I went outside, very politely, very kind. I just told them, I'm sorry, but photographs are allowed only for personal use. And they replied to me, yeah, I'm putting it on my social media. And I'm like, great. Are you selling something, however, within these photographs? Are you showcasing any products? And she said, yeah, I'm actually showing my top. And I was like, okay, in this case, just make sure to not include any artwork in your background in order to protect the artist's rights. Otherwise, you will have to pay for the rights. And she was like, okay, I understand. Thank you for telling us. And they left. I understand you want a nice background, but you have to be aware of the situation. Another example, I've made a video with Architectural Digest, which you can find in my YouTube channel. Sometimes, if you follow AD, you will see that the videos that they take inside those celebrities' home, the artworks are blurred. What that means is that they didn't pay the rights for that artworks. Or better, maybe they didn't have a budget or they didn't care. That's why it's not showing the artwork. I hope that's clear. If it's not clear, let me know and I will do another video about it. Last but not very least would be to check the opening hours of the galleries. That will seem banal to you, but you have to know that art galleries don't have all the same opening hours. There is no specific rule about it. Some galleries are open from Tuesday to Saturday, so they're closed Sunday and Monday. Some are open Monday to Friday. Most of the times, our galleries are private companies, so the owners will just decide what they prefer. The gallery where I work, for example, we're open every day, even the day before Christmas and the day after Boxing Day. So it really depends on the gallery, but that means that you have to do your due diligence and check the opening hours. Otherwise, you walk, 15 kilometers or do so many steps to get there and it's closed. You don't want that to happen. So these were just a few rules or informations that you should know when visiting an art gallery. I hope this helped. If you have any questions or if you want to share your experience in art galleries, make sure to comment below. I will be very interested in reading them. And if you like art and you would like to purchase your first artworks, make sure to follow and see you next time. Ciao, ciao!